Thank you, Dr. Basalirwa. A very good morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to appreciate you this morning. Thank you for joining us, starting your day with us, and most importantly, your desire to learn, to improve what you're doing in business. So this morning, we are excited to host Mr. Moses Kiboneka, who is also known as Uncle Mo. He's going to be sharing with us his experience on harnessing skills for breakthrough. And ladies and gentlemen, it is very important that as entrepreneurs, we continuously appreciate the importance of skills in doing what we are doing, in running our businesses. A skill is the ability to perform a task or activity effectively. And most of the time, we don't give it a lot of attention. But a skill is what enables us what we are able to do very well, and we acquire the skills through learning, practicing, experience. The things that we do, they teach us these skills, and these skills are very important in our entrepreneurial toolkit. And these skills can be hard, or sometimes what we call technical skills, or sometimes soft, which we call interpersonal skills. Now, it is important that as we plan to grow our businesses, we continuously improve our skills. We also must understand that we run business in a changing environment. Because the environment changes, it is also important that we continue advancing, we continue updating, we continue acquiring new skills. That means that your skills are not just supplementary to your entrepreneurial journey, but they are the very engine of the breakthrough that we are looking for. We are always looking for a breakthrough in our businesses. A skill will allow you to identify opportunities which other people miss. Skills will allow you to provide innovative solutions to pressing problems. They will allow you to persuade customers and keep your customers. A skill will enable you adapt your plans when things change. So this morning, we want to learn from Uncle Mo how has he been able to use his skills to do what he has done, knowing that every challenge you face in your business, every opportunity you pursue demands the application of the skills that you have acquired. Uncle Mo, I would like to welcome you. Uncle Mo is a comedian, he's an actor, he's an engineer, and also a mechanic. We are looking forward to learning from your journey on how you have used skills to get breakthroughs. Over to you. You have 40 minutes, and we are really excited to host you this morning. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Diana. I'm very excited to be on this Zoom this early morning with everyone that is on. It's really a privilege that you invited me to come on here. My name is Moses Kiboneka, like Dr. Diana already said. I come from Chireka. It's where I was born, and it's actually where I still work. Went to school. I know we have students and people who have gone to school, and on this call, I had a chance to. I did a bachelor's degree in BS in math, economics, and statistics from Makere, and also did power and automotive engineering at Chambogo. The reason why every time I talk about what I studied, let me see if I can read this. Actually, switch on my video. Just a second. I think my video is struggling a bit. Okay, but the reason why I mention mostly when I have a chance to speak to a forum that has students or people that have had a chance to go to school. So many when they find the things I'm doing and the fact that I went to school and I had a chance to, had just some time to do 2 degrees at the same time when I was at campus. I did one at Makerere. I would start at Makerere in the morning, then in the evening I would cross over and go to Chambogo. And I did that again and just the following day it would start all over again. But the reason why I mentioned that is when people find that I am practicing arts, performance arts, actually an engineer. So many people like start to get the indication that probably we don't need to do all these school things. Uncle Mo is making skits, and it feels that it should be okay that someone lives off only of that. But I find that my time I spent in school, though I don't want to lie, I've never picked both my transcripts. I don't even know how to write a resume. I've never written a resume in my life. But the time I was in school is a thing of character development. It teaches you social engineering. You meet people. You learn certain disciplines. Of course, I'm by practice. I'm doing private business, so it gave me a chance to be good at discipline. And I think it's one of the biggest problems you have right now of so many people and in their different practices. It gave me a chance to start with nothing. There's no big character development as good as starting from the bottom, trying to figure out things after you've just left university. So when I speak to students or people who have already gone through school, and I tell them, I don't know, anyone who is on this Zoom, there was a duo that was called Moses Radio and Weasel. People who are interested in music. And so many of us used to find that Weasel was useless in the duo. But the truth of the matter is, radio never made a hit without Weasel. Every time radio sang alone, the song didn't hit as much as it hit when he was with Weasel. Now, are you seeing that degree of yours? That's Weasel. Then the other things that you get to be passionate about, your talents. You're a singer, you're what, yet you are a lawyer and everything. Yeah, that's the radio part of your of your professional journey. Without it, without that degree, without the fact that you made a stop at school, it is going to be very, very impossible for you to be good at the side hustle that you claim brings in so much money. But the thing I wanted to share so much about this morning is I have had a chance to grow in the digital space, and I have seen how things are moving. Everything that we are doing right now is starting to go digital, and we can't run away from it. The problem we have, COVID grew the digital space in 8 months of the lockdown. The instant the lockdown was slapped on us and everything. COVID grew the digital space and our dependency on it in 8 months, the much it would have grown in 8 years. So every time I find someone and they say, man, I don't do social media. I'm not a social media guy. Every time I find someone that doesn't find that it's the digital era, it is very, very laughable. It is just like saying, I don't like cars. I can. People a long ago used to move on camels. Didn't they reach? That's how you sound. And that's where everything is going. And the annoying thing about the digital space, like whatever business you're doing, the instant your business goes online, you're no longer doing the business alone. Let me explain that. If you have a cooking business and you want to take your cooking business on social media, we don't social media doesn't want your cooking business. Social media is a place where people show things, yes? So what is important now is how much of a showman or showwoman or a show person that you are. If you have a cooking business and you make a video out of your cooking business, we don't care about the food anymore. We are caring about how you performed in that video. What does that mean? That going to social media creates you. You're not transplanting what you're doing in a business. No. Now you are curating a show, cooking, and a show about cooking are two separate things. People don't have time. By the way, the biggest problem we have as people trying to grow a skill is how much people don't have time anymore, and it is the unfortunate thing they're going to face. When I meet people and they're telling me, "Man, Akomo, I mean, what I didn't tell you, sorry, if I could go back a bit, I'm a digital content creator. I create content. I started creating content. I made my first video in 2020, July 12th, 2020 is when I shot my first video. Like I said, I'm practicing engineer. When my mother saw my first video, she went to her pastor and prayed for me. She was like, "Hey, pastor, I have this child. He's an engineer, but he has also started these things. I want you to." My mother started fasting. I think it's the reason why my first video struggled a lot, because she really didn't understand what I was doing with my life, starting to do content. Anyway, so every time when I meet young people or people aspiring to grow social media, to grow their digital footprint and what they're doing online, and they ask me, "Uncle Mo, how can I start making content? How can I be a great content creator?" I mean, some want to be influencers and stuff, and I tell them the truth is, I don't know how you're going to start, because if I'm going to use myself as your benchmark, you have to first ask God to send us a disease. I didn't appreciate, and it's unfortunate to even use the word appreciate, because at the time it was sad. It was a dark time in the whole world that we had COVID. But COVID gave me the most precious thing that I can only appreciate right now, that people had the patience for me to grow, because they were doing nothing. Like, the world slowed down so that the people that picked up a chance to be online and do something with themselves as content creators had the chance to grow. Because the truth of the matter is, no skill starts well formed out. Probably one of uh, the oldest statements you'll ever hear, but it's actually the truth. So the world slowed down so that we have a chance to grow a skill set. Now, so every time I'm speaking to someone and they're delaying to start, I'm like, you no longer have a chance to have so much time to grow. If you don't start now, it is like a kid in P1 saying, "I won't start P1 now because I have a bad handwriting. Let me wait for my..." I know I was speaking to a nursery teacher and they were telling me the kids' fingers muscles grow at a certain rate in different children, and that's how they become better at writing and blah, blah, blah. So if a child is like, "Let me wait 3 years when my finer muscles work out better, then I can start P1 when I have better fingers." That's how so many of us think. But guess what? Do you know what that means? That means that you are going to be a P3 kid in P1. Like, you are delaying, you are choosing, you think you have so much. Like, there's nothing you're going to do best for your skill set growth that will be as impactful as you deciding to fail as early as possible. Like, to be not good at something as early as possible so that it gives you a chance to learn. I'm telling you, we learn so much. We learn so much from failure, rejection, things going back. Like, there's no better lesson, and the earliest you can get the lesson, the better. If you delay, if you want things to be, oh, sorry, just a second. If you delay your failure, as in, it's just catastrophic. So moving to digital, which is everyone's dream. It's like, and we're looking at putting our brands or our business on digital or social media as, by the way, so many people get your young brother, your younger brother, or some, someone who has nothing to do to run your socials. I mean, we're still looking at it like it's unfortunate. We think it. We don't give it the urgency. It's unbelievable how much we don't give it the urgency it should deserve. But going back to growing, we have the unfortunate thing that there's not so much time. We're living in the era where people are hardest to please. You guys, we are living in we're living in the best times possible, but we are the most ungrateful. Like, can you believe you'll find people saying that internet is slow, internet is slow. Guess what? Internet has never been faster than it is now. But we complain about a delayed, be at an airport and they say a flight has delayed 2 hours. And everyone is complaining. We are a very unsatisfied, we are very bitter, we are very ungrateful generation, yet we're living in the best times ever. Like, can you believe the Israelites from Egypt? I mean, when Israelites were moving from Egypt to the Promised Land, it took them 40 years. Like, long ago, they didn't have a plane. Like, to move, the instant you think about a trip to move from Uganda to Israel, you're already late. Like, you're delayed already. You'd have thought about it 2 months ago. Like, we are eating chicken in a way not even King Solomon. Where they're suicide bombers. Like, everything is so good. It has never been any better. And it's the truth. We're living in probably the happiest times, but we are the most bitter people. You find people complaining at a buffet. Do you know what a buffet means? That the people who cooked the meal realized that you had to please. And they put 9 dishes to find a way to make you a happy person, but you find people complaining at it. Like, the whole idea of a buffet, I think, was even developed from the fact that you can't be trusted with power, because you find then people serve too much, then they can't even finish it. Like, we are that hard to please, and that is against all of us. Like, it's not special to you. So whenever someone is worried about what will people say, every time I go speaking, they're like, how do you deal with criticism? How do you deal with criticism? That's national cake. Like, everyone will have criticism. Everyone will be criticized. The Probably one of the best person, if a believer and you're on this Zoom, Jesus came to the world. This guy did like every sweet thing that you'll ever want someone in life to do. He came to a party, drinks were done. He said, don't worry, bring me 6 big pots, put water inside them. This guy turned water, like the party had drinks afresh. In some documents, they say it was even finer wine than the wine the party had in the beginning. He made people that had never seen anything see. He made people walk. He went to a place where he was speaking to 5,000 people. I don't even know how he was doing it without a microphone. But anyway, he was speaking to 5,000 people. They were hungry. Someone brings fish and bread. He serves 5,000 people. They didn't count women and children. Some guy died. Probably someone was like, man, Jesus, this guy has died with my money. He was like, hey, fine, don't worry. Lazarus, first come out. That man, he raised people from the dead. Guess what? He was killed. You're worried about what? A bad comment? That you're not good at what you're doing? Everyone is actually not good. We're actually in a system. We're in an economy, we're in a marketplace. Uganda is a marketplace that glorifies hardworking mediocres. Like, you don't have to be even good at it. You just have to be the person that shows up. Guess what? There's so many people that are paid so much money because they're just the ones who will do the job. Not they are the best, no. They will show up at the time they said they will, and they'll get the job done. That's sad. The people who are good at the job are the laziest you'll ever find. Anyway, so going back, that you have a marketplace that has all those things against you, but you have a skill set you need to grow because it is what is going to make your business move. I am a storyteller, and I had to grow my skill set as a storyteller so that I can tell stories of my business. Now I've had a chance to tell stories of brands. I've made content. Just last year, I think I made content for about 9 of the top best brands in the country. But I have grown the skill set of storytelling over a period of time. I didn't wake up. There's a thing of say, I woke up like this. No, I never woke up like this. Back in 2020, it was crazy. It didn't seem like it was making sense. In the beginning, you think it's going to make so much sense. When I started making content, I thought, God, I can't wait to make so much money. I don't want to lie. I'm earning for my content right now. But at the time, when I thought I'd make so much money, the money refused to come. Then I realized, and you realize later, it's just because you're not good at what you think you're supposed to be good at. And it's the honest truth of the journey. And I understood the steps of growing and making sure the skill set makes sense to be 3 steps. It is steps that were used by jazz players when they were teaching the young kids, when the young kids were coming to pick up the skill of being great players, that orchestra thing. They would come into a space where the masters of jazz used to these 3 steps. The first thing was imitation. The second one was integration. And the third stage is innovation. Now, imitation simply just means it is possible that whatever you ever want to do, someone is already doing it. It doesn't change the fact that there are people who are going to do things that no one has ever seen. It happens. And I don't want you to think that all of us on this Zoom are those people. Those people are what they call geniuses. They happen once in a lifetime, 1 in a million. You're not even a million people on this Zoom. So you see where I'm going with this. So I want to think I'm talking to people that are like me, that whatever I thought about to start doing, someone was already doing it. So it is okay and it is normal for you to imitate. But how do we imitate? In terms of developing, in terms of growing your skill for it to make sense for your business, I believe in benchmarking. Every time I'm trying to start something, I'm like, but who is doing this? Who is the best at this? That I can look at and I'm like, whatever they're doing with this skill and what it has done for them, it's what I want in my life. Now, I'm a storyteller. And I used to watch so much of people who used to parody the news. Like there's what the news has been on TV. Then there is, these guys would just pick what the serious news was talking about. Then they put a spin on it. They give an opinion on it in ways that people will enjoy watching the news. So I used to watch so many shows abroad as a child. I watched so much Jay Leno, Saturday Night Live, this is The Daily Show, at the time when it was Jon Stewart, way before there was Trevor Noah. I mean, for people who have seen some of these things that are on the call. So I wanted to be like those guys because I was like, the things that are happening in the news in Uganda, for me, sounded funnier than the things they're even talking about. So if someone was doing a parody of the Ugandan stories in the press, I thought it would be something really, really, really fun. So one day I pick up myself, it was, I think, 2015, I think. The government of Uganda at that time had just passed they had approved that Kampala would have cable cars. I swear it is the truth. The government approved cable cars in 2014. And at the time, I thought, not that I'm not patriotic, but I I found it laughable because I find they're really, in my head, in my simple mind, I found them to be a complicated idea. Yet roads shouldn't be very complicated, but we have failed to construct a proper road. So I was like, now cars are going to fly over our heads. Going through the system, you'd have to walk through wearing a helmet because, man, anything can happen. So I started writing something down as my first show. So I wrote something, my first script, and I went to NTV. And I told them, I need you to give me a slot. Every time after the news, I do my news as well. A slot of about 5 to 10 minutes, if it can be extended to me, because I want to start a show that looks like this. The person I presented my idea to at NTV loved the idea, but unfortunately, they never got back to me. So years passed. I couldn't be Jon Stewart, the guy I idolized so much, the way he did the storytelling of things in the press. COVID happens, and I said, I just have to start somehow. So I may not have so much time to even tell you the whole story of how we end up starting, but then I started doing it at the garage. I ran a garage with a friend of mine, and that's how I started doing what I am doing right now. What did I do? I imitated someone else who I find was doing it on an international scale. It's the reason I chose to speak English. My Luganda is fluent, it's perfect. But I was like, the person I'm benchmarking speaks English. So I want to have a show that feels like theirs. So the first stage is imitating. The second stage is integration. Integration means that after you imitated, the honest truth is when you imitate people, when you're benchmarking someone, I think in engineering, call it a datum, a point of which reference is made. Most times the person you're benchmarking is very, very good. By the way, before I even go so far, the reason for benchmarking is so that you don't waste time doing something just because it is something you love to do. I find people with skills that, I know that some good skills don't make money, but being that people want to make money so bad, let us start with skills that are sure are monetizable. There are things that you're good at, and people are like, I'm passionate. We even start abusing words. Guys, passion, there's a difference between a passion and a hobby. Like a hobby, so many of the things that we think people should pay us for are really just our hobbies. No one is going to pay for a hobby. Like anyone who likes singing is just someone who likes singing. That's called a hobby. We can't pay everyone who likes singing. A passion comes from mastery. Without mastery, all you have is a hobby. So if you find someone that has gathered a certain level of mastery of something, and they are in the top 10% in this world doing it, and they're the person you're benchmarking, I find on your road to developing your skill, you're halfway there. When you benchmark, because the good thing about benchmarking is it gives you confidence of the journey. It is your light at the end of the tunnel. That person becomes your light at the end of the tunnel. That I'm doing a podcast. Who do I want to be like? And you ask simple questions. How many people are doing podcasts? Honest truth, too many. Why? Because I'm sorry to say, I'm not in a disrespect to people who do podcasts, but because the structure is a lazy structure. I mean, if you have a room and microphones, you're ready to go. Then you ask yourself, but the people who are big at this, what do they do? Of course, the big ones is because they get to host people that are very, very, very popular. And what they have ahead of you is they have been doing the podcasts longer, so they have more confidence from the audience, which means one thing. It's not going to be enough that you just have a microphone and a room for you to talk about things. Then you have to curate. It has to be something that is not normal setting. Still podcast, but you have to find a way people can define what you do by one sentence. I asked the friend of mine, it's actually someone just called me and said, I'm starting a cooking show and I want to host you. And I said, tell me about the structure of your cooking show. And really it was someone who just loves cooking. And I said, I want to give you, I'm not going to come to your show, but I'm going to help you. If people can define your show beyond the other girl that cooks, I'll come to the show. Like, because the people who can make a show of cooking are too many. So can people define your cooking show without saying the girl that cooks? Just because that's just not enough. Can they, if they say they're the girl that cooks in the forest, if people can say that, I'm ready to come. Like, if your show has a certain strand of DNA that makes it different from other shows, but it is as disruptive as that, I am ready to show up. You know, it is a thing of integration. Now, integration is after you realized the skill you want to grow, that like, man, this is my game changer. You have to integrate the things you've benchmarked into the person you are, the things that you can afford. Now, me, I was benchmarking the Daily Show. Big studio, nice lighting, great camera. Probably they have a teleprompter. They have all these fancy production things that I couldn't afford. So I went to a friend of mine. I was like, I want to shoot the show from your office, because his office looked like the setting of the Daily Show. He had a very beautiful mahogany desk. It seemed a place that I could set up lights and a camera crew, and I started telling stories about things, life. I'm a social commentator. And this person told me, man, I'm so busy. Now. It was in a playful way that, man, just go and do these things at your garage. But guess what? I ended up going to the garage. I realized that if I do my content from the garage, I don't have to be Jon Stewart anymore. I don't have to wear suits. I just have to wear my overall. And I don't want to kid you. Since 2020 to today, I've worn one thing. I've worn one overall. I didn't have to have costumes. I had to shoot in one place. I didn't have to have a huge crew, complicated lighting. I shoot my videos during the day. The biggest problem people have with my kind of work is, but who will write? I think that's what God has put on my life. I am a writer. The other things, the acting and everything, it's things that you keep growing over time. So when you integrate, and it is the weak point of growing a skill set. It is the point where you discover the things that you can't do. Now, the unfortunate thing is, this is the part where people fall off. I don't have so much, the amount of land that guy has. I don't have the space that guy has. I don't have the people to work with that guy has. I didn't have all these things. But all these things are character development season for you to figure out your replacements. I didn't have money for a crew. By the time I started doing my content, it was a very depressing time for me. I'm a mechanic. And guess what was not moving when COVID struck? I am an events host. I'm an MC. Guess what happened when COVID struck? They said there are no more weddings. They said even when they allowed weddings, they allowed 20 people. Like, of the 20 people, you think the family can cut down guests and still have a place for an MC? It was so bad for MCs. Like, even couples that are giving me deposits, some of them separated. I'll never forget COVID. But anyway, in this, it was so much character development for me. It was a thing of because the person that shot my first videos is a lady I got to church with. And she actually had cameras and these little microphones. I told her, you know what? You have these things. If you can make time. No, actually, she's the one who told me, if I like your script, I'll carry my camera and recording things and come and shoot your content. So I had to find a way to make it worth her while to work with me. Make sure the content is good so that she can partner with me on my content creation journey. I didn't have the budgets of writers and crew and what, no. All I had was a good story to tell someone, I'm going to be so worked up at this, and I'm going to make sure we're going to do something, at least in the country, I have not seen yet. So I could sell what I am doing to a business partner in a way I can disrupt how they thought about whatever I wanted to do. So I didn't need a costume. I didn't need a place to work from. I was working at my own workplace. There were no cars. We didn't even have customers. I had someone to shoot the videos, and we started. So what does this mean? Integration. At the time when people are like, I'm not like Uncle Man. Uncle Mo probably has big budgets. Come on, I had nothing at the time to start, to grow the skill. So that time of thinking through how to make something that you can afford, and not even afford, because now so many of you, if I say afford now, again, you'll just start going even below bare minimum, but something that you can access, it grows you into innovation. In the end, you don't have to be John Stewart. You become Uncle Mo. So that's stage number 3, innovation. You start to come out with a new sound. You're doing a certain business, benchmarking a certain other business, but you don't have the means and whatever connections and the friends they had. I mean, for them, so you don't have the same footing, but you use your foundation to do things from the way life served you the cards. In the end, you are your own your own voice, and you have a spin to the skill. They don't know where you started. Everyone thinks that's the moment where people say, people start misusing words. That person is so creative. That's a great idea. No, you just beat the season of integration that was supposed to frustrate you. And that's when you become innovative. You have a new sound. Now, guess what? That's just the beginning. Now you start to work that so many times until people can't ignore you anymore. Doing something once and it comes off, it never means that you're good at it. Like I find people like, I'm the one who did that viral video in 2020. Like you can't be defined by an event. Like when your mother took out your tooth, she didn't become a dentist. So after you've finished the 3 stages, you get into the season. You get into the season of cementing this thing you've discovered, because during that time, during the season, now you start to I mean, of course, you will be unlearning, relearning so many things. You'll be what I'm looking for that disappeared. But anyway, so in this season, you start to put to practice, and finally, people start to abuse language, thinking it was overnight success. But only you knows where all this comes from, where the story begins.
Hello,
The honest truth is, at the beginning, you sound, you look like a fool.
This is your host.
There's an analogy. May not have enough time for me to tell you the story of that, but mostly for the things I wanted to share about this morning, so that I have enough time in case there's a question or anything. I would like to stop here because I could go on for forever. But mostly that's how a skill becomes useful for a breakthrough. Without the dark season, putting your head down and trying to dig deep, going through the stages of who do I want to be like, what can't I achieve, what can I do with what I have, how can I now finally be different? You don't even notice that you're going to be different. It is after trying so hard to be Beyonce that you realize that you something that looks like, and now you are the original. You become an original. You're trying to fake it and fake it and fake it, then you become an original on your journey. It's how people become. It's how I've learned that people become. It's a jazz player's journey that I find can be cultivated into so many businesses we do, into so many practices we do. And I'm very glad and excited that I had a chance to share it with all of us that have made time to be on this call this morning. Thank you very much, Dr. Diana.
Thank you very much, Uncle Mo, Mr. Moses Kiboneka. This is Dr. Edith, your host. I'd like to appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you for finding time in your busy schedule to come and talk to us. It has been such an inspiration presentation. People are appreciating that you are a training speaker, and they're appreciating what you've shared with them. No wonder, it's a variety of issues. You're a comedian, engineer, mechanic, writer, actor, digital content creator, many things. Thank you so much for your presentation, and we've picked a lot. There's that issue of character development, which is very important, which you've built on so much. We've also picked issues to do with the key aspects of imitation, integration, and innovation. These are various stages that one has to go through. But what is very important is that one needs to have a skill set to help one survive in whatever they are doing. And benchmarking is key as you go through the process. I know people who are logged on here have questions they want to raise and maybe to interact with you further. And I would like to invite Mr. Patrick Taban to guide us on the Q&A. Patrick, please.
Thank you so much, Dr. Edith. Thank you, Uncle Mo, for that very insightful presentation. I believe most of us have learned a lot. For me, my take home is you mentioned that it's not too late to embrace a skill and make something of it. You just simply have to show up. And I think that's a very great one. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached that point where we get to hear from you. Uncle Mo, I'd like you to know that we have appreciations from very many of our members on the forum here, and they commend you for being knowledgeable and creative, and they're saying that your presentation was wow. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would request that we take use of this opportunity. We can, if you have any questions for Uncle Mo, please utilize the chat. And also we have a section for Q&A. And also, alternatively, if you wish to speak, kindly raise up your electronic hand and you'll be unmuted. So the floor is open, ladies and gentlemen, to receive your questions. So I mostly see appreciations. Yeah, mostly appreciations. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's utilize this. Oh yes, we have one from Paul. Paul says, how can Pearl of Africa Cheese leverage employees' skills to drive innovation and growth? Uncle Mo, I request that we answer that question as we wait for the others. Back to you.
Thank you very much, and I'm glad for that text I'm seeing in the chat. Thank you very much. I'm really more honored that I had the chance to be invited here. Now, the truth is, leveraging employee skills. I have guys I work with at the garage, and as an employer, you owe the people you work with a certain level of leadership. So many of the people we work with, really just came to do their job and go back home. And they might not know how important some of their skill sets are to make them better performers, or even to make the business better, or even just their position in the business better. And also some employers as well don't know so much of how to do the best with some of the skills that their employees have. But mostly because we have not done so much of exposing ourselves. You guys, I'm everything I do, from content creation to events hosting to repairing people's cars to creating digital content, social commentary. Like, I mean, I even already said it. I do a lot of benchmarking, but I don't only benchmark the people that are the best in the field. I keep everyone in the field in a way that I can watch their content. I can watch what they're doing, because unfortunately, most of the things people are doing are now online. So I do my best to see what other companies are doing. People are putting so much content online. People are putting so much content about managing or navigating a situation like that. And I find if one takes enough time to educate themselves or to pick up as much knowledge as possible that concerns possibilities from the people you're working with, it helps you better. Like in a short form, there's no one answer I would give you for this, but it helps you better on finding ways on how to look at your employees in a way for you to help them, because it really comes from painting the picture of the fact that it helps them before it helps you. It's really for them, and maybe the place where you're working is just a training ground for them to practice that. So many. I have a car dealership, social media platform I follow. I follow so many content creators. I follow so many because I want to see why people watch them or don't, or what people comment. I keep checking up on these things, and these guys. They have someone. They're all car dealers, really, but they have a trend whereby they just keep showing the different kinds of mindset of their workers, considering their generations. Yeah, so they use music. So the guy keeps asking a song and moves around with a microphone, and he says a line in a song and just goes around asking people which song that is. So from the MD to the Askari to the receptionist to some of the dealers, marketing manager. So they're different. Some are Gen Z, some are millennials, some are, But this helps people appreciate their car dealership. They're Americans. It helps them appreciate their car dealership in a way that they are just people. It is important that the biggest story you'll ever tell is that you're just a human being. It helps the people you're dealing with extend you a certain level of grace. To understand that, whenever you come to our place and probably this person talks to you in a certain way, probably it's because of the generation they were raised. They might not, probably their generation greets a certain way. It helps people extend you grace and look at you as not judge you too harshly, maybe. So, and it is a nice thing. There's a group that reached out to me to influence for them. It was a mental health campaign, and I looked at their the abstract they made me to go through so that I can talk about their campaign. And for me, I thought it was very plastic. I was like, you guys are trying to spread the biggest message ever, but there's nothing natural about it for me. Like I said, can you say mental health without saying the word mental health? Then you would have understood mental health best. Then we can work together. Because otherwise, you're telling me in a way that even me, I can't believe in it. People believe in, like I'm a believer, it's a reason I made reference to Jesus before, and I can make it again, that he had to be a human being, I guess, for us to get it. Because if he didn't become a human being first, probably wouldn't have related. So I find that as a leader, it is important to first educate yourself as much as possible, and you owe the people you work with a certain level of leadership to keep giving them the right compliment, the right advice. You keep showing them what they should be good at. I never knew that what I was good at was an important skill until someone else had to tell me. I used to think anyone can do this. People just don't do it because it is monkeying around. It is jamakuru, I didn't find it like that until someone else. So over time, to keep telling them what their skill can be, they should go and research, let them have time to find how better they can be at it, because it helps their performance, their output, and in turn, of course, for you, it helps the business. But it's a much longer story, which I don't have one answer for than the time we have for right now.
Thank you so much, Uncle Mo. With your permission, Dr. Edith, I request to have one person speak. Bonnie is on the line. Bonnie, I will have Bonnie speak. Then, Uncle Mo, I will share with you 3 questions that you can answer very fast. Then the rest we will just compile and share with the members on the WhatsApp group. Members, we have a WhatsApp group that if you've not joined, the link will be shared and you can just join. And these questions that have not been answered will be shared later. So Uncle Mo, I'm going to give you 3 questions, then we shall have Bonnie unmute. And then I think we shall.
Is it me or we have gone mute?
Hello, are you getting me?
I'm waiting.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yes, Uncle Mo. I was mentioned that we shall have 4 questions. With your permission, Dr. Edith. One will come from Bonnie, who is online. He will speak, he will unmute and speak. Then I will get you 3 questions, Uncle Mo. So these 3 questions, I'll have one from OC. OC, I don't know if you had heard me, but OC says, thank you so much, Uncle Mo, for the wonderful presentation. I'm really passionate at doing business, but I really don't know how and where to start from. How can I get the trigger to push me forward towards my passion? And then the second one is from an anonymous. Do you have any mentor along the journey? And then finally, the third question, Uncle Mo, so that we can have them all answered at a go. This one is from Sophia, who says, did you ever deal with imposter syndrome when you joined content creation, you being an engineer, and how did you deal with it? Uncle Mo, I request that Bonnie unmutes. Then the other 3 questions, I request that you answer them alongside. So Bonnie, kindly unmute. Bonnie, are you online? Okay.
Okay, so just to let me just go through these ones quickly.
Yes.
Someone asked if how they need a push to start. You want to be triggered. I don't know. I don't know how you guys. I fear. Have you? You need to be broke enough for you to start. For you to like. And I don't push it on people, but I think it is hardship that creates the best out of people. And like, I wish, you know, when someone tells you to walk across the room, you'll do it easily. But someone tells you to walk 3 kilometers, you look for a border. Like people, it is hardships that bring innovation. Like it is a bad thing to wish on people, but I wish that real bad things can happen to people so that they stop making excuses of starting. Because I honestly, I'll tell you, you will have a reason to start because you will have no other way. I procrastinated on my journey as a storyteller for too long. I had to be 8 months back on rent and everything had stopped working. My things I thought I was very good at, business had stopped and everything. And I said, you know what? I was an actor from nursery school. Why can't I just go back there as the world gets back together? I didn't even think it would be making money, but I was like, I need to try out this thing that I have known all my life, but I've been procrastinating to start. So if there is anything, I don't want to wish it on you, but I hope you're disturbed enough to have no choice but to start, because anyone who wants to start really always just starts. I'm sorry to tell you this, and probably the hardest way, you just don't want it enough yet. Then, do I have mentors? I don't have direct mentors. Like whenever I find, like I believe in benchmarking so much. Whenever I find someone who is in a space or doing things that I would want to be, I try to be around them. I try to read their habits. I try to find what they do. I ask questions. So I really just keep people in my space so that, and not just people who are better than me, even people who were at the same level, or people who I'm at a more privileged level from. All this, I do my best, because so many people are just not lucky, but they're doing things that are even better than the things that you're doing. So I use the people resource. I believe so much in social engineering. I use the people resource as much as I can because it's actually available. Imposter syndrome. I was watching Rafael Nadal when he retired. They put a footprint of it. It's a funny English to say, but the footprint of his foot on the court. He won most of his majors, and it will be there forever. And when they launched the day they put that foot on that ground, Nadal cried like a 5-year-old child. Guess what? That guy is the top 3 that have ever played the game, ever, that all of you people on this Zoom will ever experience or ever see. But he cried like a child, like he didn't belong there. Like, you guys, you have done so much in a room where no one will ever play like him, ever. In the moment, because I'm very sure everyone who was there, no, never. What does that mean? Imposter syndrome, really. And now how about me, who's really just figuring things out? Of course, every single day I think I'm not enough. There so many things keep trying to tell us that, no, you didn't even do this well. You didn't do the other well. You didn't. Imposter syndrome will never go away. We just need to find a way to starve our excuses. It is the hardest thing, but I guess it is the best hurdle you'll ever jump.
Thank you so much, Uncle. Thank you so much, Uncle Mo. I believe there are many questions to answer, but we shall compile these questions and share with you after, so that you can give them feedback. But then we appreciate you so much for the insightful presentation. Thank you, Uncle Mo. Back to you, Dr. Edith.
Thank you, Patrick, for managing the Q&A. And thank you so much, Uncle Mo, Mr. Moses Kiboneka, for interacting further with our participants online. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. We've gone beyond the top of the hour, and we don't want to keep this any longer. I would like to invite the principal, Makerere University Business School, Professor Moses Moezi, to give his closing remarks.
Thank you so much, Dr. Wasarero, and I want to appreciate you, Mr. Moses Kiboneka, for an interesting presentation. It has refreshed our minds. And I think, Moses, you represent an industry that is relevant for the times and even for the future. We all know that about 72% of Ugandan population are below 30 years. And these are people that need what you are talking about. Even Makerere University Business School, I think an institution that spearheads entrepreneurship and innovation and all these things. So this has been a very relevant discussion. And I like the statements you made of being satisfied with what we have, using other examples to chart your own way forward. All these are lessons I'm sure participants have picked and will use them to advance their businesses. And this discussion enables our students, for example, to create jobs for themselves. Everybody is wondering, some American professor came and told us at Makerere that how can a developing country like Uganda, you have all these people, a graduate fails to get a job, fails to get what to do? Have we failed to interpret the dreams of our learners as managers of these institutions, as elders? So I think, Moses, your discussion is very relevant for the times. And Dr. Altamo, if he could address our students, especially final students, or even those that come in freshers, because this is what they want to hear. So I want to thank you, participants, the Entrepreneurship Center, for this, and thank you for being part of MUBS story. Have a blessed day.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Principal Professor Moses Mwezi, for your closing remarks. And thank you for encouraging us, always logging on and giving the closing remarks. We've taken note of what you are proposing. We need to invite Uncle Mo again to come and talk to our students in future. Uncle Mo, hope you'll be available when we approach you. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Thank you for creating time. And I would like to appreciate everybody who logged on this morning. I'm sure we've learned a lot and we've picked a lot from Uncle Mo. I'd like to end it here and appreciate everybody. Bye-bye for now. Have a blessed Thursday.
Have a blessed Thursday. Well, thank you very much.
Gotta get up. You gotta get up and make a move. 'Cause the world will never see you until you do. No, they don't really care what you're going through. So you gotta show them, baby. You gotta show them the real you. You gotta give them what you got. No, don't let them see what you're not. 'Cause you are strong. You are wise. You are worth beyond 1,000 reasons why. And you can't be perfect, baby. 'Cause nobody's perfect, darling. But no, 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 there's nobody in the world like you. What do you do when you can't let go? What do you say when you just don't know how you feel? And you know nobody knows how you feel. 'Cause everybody's got their own damn problem. So everybody's trying to find their way. And day by day you struggle. In this world, you know you have to go through. Just know that you're not alone. You don't always have to be all by yourself. I said it's okay to ask for help. People find you, but they don't define you. And you will find people who help redesign you. People will find you, but they don't define you. And you will find people who help redesign you. You are a work of art. Bet you didn't think you'd come this far. Now here you are. Baby, you are strong. You are wise. You are worth beyond 1,000 reasons why. And you can be perfect, baby. 'Cause nobody's perfect, darling. But no, 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 there's nobody in the world like you. You know that you can be perfect. Nobody's perfect, darling. I love you just the way that you are. I love you just the way that you are. We love just stars in the sky. Oh, you're looking my eyes.